So again, we discussed this, how this creation happened, and this is important for you to remember and recapitulate, because for our discussion of the devatas and the gods, I would refrain from using the word demigod. Somehow it doesn't go well in my thought process. Somehow demigods means they are inferior, or I just avoid demigods. I would say devatas. So for us to understand the devatas, understanding of this 24 tattvas is key. So we discussed that. We discussed about how there was Mula Prakriti before creation, and then how Mula Prakriti then starts mixing up. And the Mula Prakriti has got Sattva, Rajas, and Tamogunas. That is, those material things that have the quality of Sattva, the quality of Rajas, and the quality of Tamas. And then this guy, the Brahman, says, Om Atataha, and the universe begins. And there is a mixing up of all these three gunas. The first material entity, the subtle matter that comes about is Mahat. Then comes Ahankara. Then there are three aspects of the Ahankara Tattva, Vaikarika, Tejasa, and Tamasa. And these three Tattvas, Ahankara Tattvas, then they differentiate into the whole of existence that we know, Pancha Tanmatras, Panchabhutas, Jnana Indriyas, Karma Indriyas, and Manas. All these things come from the three aspects of the Ahankara Tattva. Okay, so these 24 Tattvas are the first part of creation. If you remember that Bhagavatam, the first 6 stages of creation, so that is called Prakrita Shishti. That Prakrita Shishti essentially contains 24 components. Now, the Brahmanda has still not come into being. So this is the primordial soup. Now you have to cook it. Somebody has to cook all this and bring this material universe into being. So these 24 are the primary components of the Brahmanda, and they mix up together and form the Brahmanda, or the universe that we know at this point. Now, note there, I have put this verse, Gita verse 15:1, because this verse captures this idea. Of all that we have discussed so far about the 24 tattvas, is summarized so beautifully by Krishna in the first verse of 15th chapter. And he says, Urdhva Moolam Adaha Shakam Ashwattam Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Paranani Yastam Veda Savedavit. So we could spend a lot of time talking about this, but I just want you to grasp the idea of Urdhvam. I put Krishna's photo there, but it could be Vishnu. You could call him Vishnu, for example, or anybody, any other name. So this guy is the Mula. Okay, he is the source of creation. Now, Adaha Shakam. Shakam means branches. Okay, if you look at the way in which I have drawn this schema, they are all various branches. So the first branch, the trunk of this material universe, is the Mahat Tattva. Then comes the Ahankara Tattva, and there are 3 sub-branches, Vaikarika, Tejas, and Tamasa. And they become various other sub-branches, which eventually becomes the universe. So the first line of Krishna essentially summarizes hours of discussion that we have had about the creation. Urdhva Moolam, Adaha Shakam, Ashwattam Prahuravyayam. And Krishna describes, or rather Vedavyasa describes, that this universe is like an Ashwatha tree. Yeah. So that comparison analogy has got deep philosophical overtones that probably is for another occasion. But this chapter, this particular verse fits very well with the 24 tattvas that we have described. So now these 24 tattvas are there. These are all jadas, they're all prakritis, and now they have to mix up and form the material universe.
HinduKnowledgeAcademy.com will celebrate Vedic culture and present its philosophies to the modern Hindu in an accessible format. Our ancient heritage is our greatest strength. Through preservation and dissemination, together let us spread positivity in the world. Thank you for listening and welcome to Hindu Knowledge Academy.